Imagine, if you will, you've just finished your favorite game, the credits roll and you're left reeling after that final cutscene, or you're just still shaking from the final boss. So, what now? You're done. The game is finished.
Mission accomplished, right?
Oh god, what if there's nothing else? Only emptiness? Well, oh boy, do I have something for you. Achievements can transcend a game experience to another level if they're done well. My favorite trophies have shown me my favorite games in different lights and have forced me to experience them under different circumstances. Even the simplest of achievements can push the player to experiment with different mechanics they wouldn't have used otherwise. Like using a certain ability a number of times, performing a special task in a unique way, maxing out certain statistics, or beating a game on a higher difficulty, maybe even collecting an entire set of collectibles. I've always had a bit of a completion knack in me, and before I started trophy hunting on the Sony PlayStation, I had 100% completion for The Evil Within. The game's highest difficulty, Akumu mode, kills the player in a single hit.
What the fuck?
This achievement is infamous for its extreme difficulty. To beat it, the player will have to master each encounter and learn the game's mechanics to its extent. Finishing Akumu mode and achieving the 100% completion rate on The Evil Within is one of the most gratifying feelings I've ever felt playing games, and it made me love and appreciate the game even more. But it didn't come without its trials and tribulations. When you push a game to its limits, it will start to show the cracks. Certain segments that spike the difficulty at first now prove to be near impossible if you don't follow a certain strategy. Experiencing extreme difficulty, coming across a bugged completion statistic, or breaking a game mechanic you thought was fine might sour your view on the game. Different people have different tastes, and this goes for trophy hunting as well. I for one really like difficulty trophies. They force me to replay a game and truly master it in a new and different way. Some of my all-time favorite trophies deal with difficulty and mastery, like the previous mentioned Akumu mode, the Worthy of Legend trophy in Devil May Cry 5, or the green hyperspray requirements in Silent Hill 2. These are all trophies that test your skill and give you the ultimate challenge. Your reward? A 240 by 240 pixel PNG. If you have more of them, you can make a little mosaic with them. Hey, look, it's a wall of all your hard work that no one cares about, except for you. I am currently the proud owner of 80 small, shiny PNGs. I haven't fallen for the allure of easy platinums, and really only platinum games I really like.
I'm better! I am better!
That doesn't mean I don't hear that siren song. Bloodborne was my first platinum. I achieved this back in February of 2019, and it's where it all began for me. I was enthralled with the world and audibly said, "This is one of the best games I've ever played," after finishing it. I needed more, and I needed it now. What better way to squeeze more gameplay from your game than to complete some trophies? Harmless, right?
Well played, man! That is spot on!
Bloodborne is pretty rich in content. It has multiple secret bosses, hidden weapons and gear, and multiple endings. Achieving the platinum and 100% was a real enjoyable journey and gave me the feeling of truly completing one of my favorite games at the time. After this, I'd seen everything, and I could put it away safely, waiting for the annual replay. Once I felt that feeling, I wanted to do this with all my favorite games. The same year Resident Evil 2 Remake arrived, and I platinumed that for my second platinum. And a little later, a game called Devil May Cry 5 was released.
I'm back in this bitch!
Devil May Cry franchise is a notoriously difficult game series. Mastering the mechanics is no easy task, but truly knowing how to be stylish is one very satisfying process. The platinum for a long-awaited 5th entry to the series requires you to complete each of the 20 missions with the highest score ranking possible on every difficulty.
Whatever. I don't really care. I'm just gonna sit this one out.
This might be one of the biggest downsides to trophy hunting. no game is truly finished until you see that platinum trophy pop, or maybe even until you see the progression bar hit the 100% mark. Maybe you'll be done with the game, but the game isn't done with you yet, forcing you to do yet another playthrough before you can finally put it down. When you eventually do put it down, you'll only remember the grief it brought you in those final hours. Some trophy hunters go for a clean profile, where each game is 100% completed. This could even influence your choice in games. Maybe you won't pick up a game because the task of platinum in it would be too daunting, skipping games you could have enjoyed entirely. For some, this might even mean that you'll never go into a video game blindly. Before even thinking of buying the game or starting a playthrough, people will follow guides on how to play the game the perfect way to achieve the 100% mark as fast and efficient as possible, dreading missing something on their first go around. Once you start trophy hunting, you'll want to get all the trophies in all the games you'll play. For some, the allure is more prominent than others. As for me, there was a time that I couldn't for the life of me put down a platinum once I started that process. Games are meant to be enjoyed and are meant to be fun for the player. Why make a pastime hobby a chore? I've experienced some grief while getting certain platinums. For me, one of the most unfun things I can do in a video game is collect collectibles. Playing a game in tandem with following a YouTube guide where some missable items might hide goes completely against my idea of fun, and it's one of the most common trophy requirements. Some trophies I've achieved that come to my mind are Treasure Master in Uncharted 4, Master of trophies in Dark Souls, and a certain trophy that I dreaded even starting, Best Beloved in Death Stranding. Death Stranding isn't a game for everyone. It feels like an art house film disguised as a video game. As Hideo Kojima's first original game after his departure from the Metal Gear Solid franchise and his status at Konami, the general public had some high hopes for this little game, as the last thing Kojima had worked on was the internet's favorite horror game, Five Nights at PT. After that heartbreaking cancellation of Silent Hills, Kojima's next project, Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus, was on everyone's radar. Though when it finally released in November of 2019, audience reception was rather mixed. When I played the game on release, I turned to my girlfriend and told her, "I don't know if this game is made for me."
Aren't you getting tired of the grind?
Gameplay is slow and tedious, and by now a lot of people will recognize the game as the Uber Eats delivery during COVID walking simulator. At first I could completely see why it feels like that to some. The game just didn't click with me for the first few hours, but the more I played it, the more I understood its mechanics and quickly fell into the zen of delivering packages and improving my routes by building structures that made my travels safer and faster. Death Stranding is a once every few years game that comes around, well, once every few years. A game that sticks with you and it's like nothing else. The trophy Best Beloved requires you to reach maximum connection status with all facilities. This means that you have to reach 5 stars on all of the 39 locations across the game map. To increase your status, you'll have to, well, deliver a lot of packages to these locations. I adore the game, but this task felt extremely daunting for me. It's quite an undertaking to even complete the main story, let alone fill up those stars for each and every location. But you know, I wanted that shiny PNG. But surprise! While working on the trophy, I quickly realized I actually really enjoyed doing this. It forced me to make all my routes way more practical, and it made me appreciate the game's mechanics even more than I originally already did. And that's the blessing of some good achievements. Once you start the process of completing the game, you'll see it in new ways, some you never expected to enjoy so much. The same goes for me with a lot of platinums I've achieved over the years. Trophies like Zoologist in Red Dead 2, where you have to study all 187 different animals in the game. Collector's Edition in Alan Wake, where you have to find all the manuscript pages, drip feeding you more story bits. And one of my favorite trophies, the previously mentioned Worthy of Legend in Devil May Cry 5. Once you achieve all trophies for the game, you're met with the 100% completion status and maybe a platinum trophy to boot. Hard work for a small digital picture, But with that small picture came a lot of new gameplay memories and experiences. In my opinion, some platinum journeys can be one of the most fun things a game experience can offer. Though for some people, all this hard work isn't the perfect completion experience. So, what's the ideal completion experience for me? What fills up my void? When a platinum requires me to do absolutely everything the game has to offer. Different difficulties, all collectibles whether I like it or not, and all extra side content and challenges. This might be a bit extreme and too much, but for me this is what a platinum should be. It should feel earned, there needs to be some work in it, some grief for it to feel gratifying, for it to make sense. I've recently seen a shift in the trophy hunting experience. A lot of big AAA games have considerably easier and fair trophies that ask little extra than completing the game and getting a few extra collectibles along the way. Of course, there's something to say about what 100% criteria should be. If the game says you've done everything there is to do, shouldn't you earn the platinum as well? Should you have to beat all the difficulty levels the developers put in their games to fully earn the completion status? Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 recently released, an absolutely force of nature that pushes the standards of the gaming industry once again, and yet I was completely finished with the game in little under a week, platinum achieved and everything. For me this was one of the easiest completion journeys I've ever gone on. Spider-Man 2 feels a lot easier than its previous two entries. The completion requirement asks you to finish the main campaign and all side activities. Done. Platinum is yours. Compare that to extremes like Red Dead Redemption 2, Silent Hill 2 and Metal Gear Solid 5, all of which ask the player to finish the playthrough on different difficulties and beat a variety of challenges. So what makes the perfect completion experience? A journey everyone can love. As far as I can tell, there really is no such thing. For some people, going the extreme extra mile to get 100% completion status in their favorite game is just too big of an ask. This extra work can ruin their original experience, leaving a bad taste. Though sometimes you just want a little extra from your game, maybe you'd want to be challenged, maybe you'd like to go the extra mile, push yourself before being rewarded. Maybe you'd like to show off all these extra little things you've done.
I earned this. All of it.
All these shiny little platinums. Maybe you'd like more. If you've been in the trophy hunting game for a while now, you know that really no one cares about your platinum trophies except for you. This is something I need to tell myself sometimes. A hard reality to face, a difficult pill to swallow.
Why don't you pop some more pills and say what you're really feeling?
Hey!
But still, I'm the one that wants to do all these things. I like my platinums difficult because they give me a bigger challenge. But do I need trophies and platinums to get that challenge? I could do all those things without shiny icons popping in the corner of my screen, so why don't I just play Spider-Man 2 on a higher difficulty regardless? I like having a mosaic of platinums. They feel like feats I've completed over the few years of console gaming, but who really cares about them but me? Right now, in this video, I've shown you all the platinums I've gotten, and some of you might go, wow, he did Devil May Cry 5 twice, that's insane. But am I doing this for bragging rights? Or just for me? Achievement hunting can be very fun, but it shouldn't take over my enjoyment of a game. Remembering that video games are a pastime hobby, we play them because we enjoy them. I've had moments while getting some platinums where I'd go, why am I even doing this? And it tells me everything I need to know. Just do what makes you happy, do what makes you enjoy a game. There is no ideal platinum journey, there is no perfect trophy. For some, the natural unlocking and progression of a platinum like Spider-Man 2 is exactly what a platinum should be. Fun, easy and manageable. But for others, a platinum should have some kick, some highs and lows and some deeper use of game core mechanics, a certain difficulty check that you wouldn't tackle otherwise. We're all playing games on our own way, and we all have preferences of what kind of games we play, what genre we prefer, what difficulty we play on and what we do while playing them. As long as we still enjoy playing the games, it's all good, right? Sometimes I just need to tell myself that it's okay not to go for the 100% completion, to not go that extra mile. Sometimes it's just okay to finish the game and let it be that. If it's not fun, why should I bother? Hi, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, I think you might have enjoyed it. Maybe consider checking out my other stuff, and perhaps I'll see you next time. See ya.